in elementary school, I got my first 20-gallon long fish tank where I was keeping mostly Moombas or rockfish, African cichlids. And I did that a lot throughout elementary school and high school, and then I kind of got out of the hobby. When I got older, we got a new house, had some kids, and one of the rooms we made into a home office. And so this is kind of like just a quick view of my home office here, where where we run our business. And when I did this, when we remodeled the entire office, we wanted it to look and feel very much like or not like the rest of the house, so it felt like you were really going to work. And one of the things that I did is I took advantage of the time and set up a fish tank the way I wanted to. So this is a 125 gallon mixed African cichlid tank. And so I thought I'm getting ready to do a big remodel on the tank, but I thought I would first document what I have right now and kind of the challenges that I have with it and what I want to change up. So right now, when I first started this about 7 or 8 years ago, I added in a custom 3D background, which was just styrofoam, which is what you can see in the background there on the left 2/3 of the tank. Started it with a styrofoam background that was kind of glued together using silicone and a heat gun to give it some texture. And then I painted it with a very watered down version or mixture of Quickcrete to give it like a concrete background kind of a look. And then it was glued to the inside of the back and the right and left side of the tank using silicone. And over time it's held up well, but it's really served its purpose and its age. I'm ready to get rid of it. You can kind of see if I get up close here, you can even see where some of the green styrofoam, it's like that planter's styrofoam that you would get from a plant or from a plant store or a craft store. You can see where the concrete is kind of, I don't know, can't come off of the Quickcrete, and you can see where the green of the original styrofoam is coming through. And you can also see, if you can see kind of right about, so I can get my finger in it, right about here, where you can see some of the white silicone that I used is coming off as well. And you can also see that let's see, where's my finger? Right up here. So I want to end up getting rid of all that stuff. This is how the tank looks today. The reason why there's nothing on the far right side, I'll explain that in a minute, why it looks like the rock wall disappears. But the other stuff that's in the tank, I've got less than 10 fish in here right now. Most of them, or all of them really, are Moombas. I really want to get some haps in here again, like some peacocks and stuff, and ultimately frontoses as well. But the rocks that you see there are these, they're fake rocks. Can't remember where I actually got them from, but they're very lightweight. You can even see from the back of them, there's really nothing to them, which really cuts down the amount of weight, because this shelf that everything is on is not supported except for by the back and the side walls. Those things at the bottom that you see there, those black things, are like filing cabinets, and they slide in and out. So there's like a big steel beam that's holding up this entire tank, really heavy. I used to have regular rocks in here, like lava rocks and stuff, and I ended up, lace rock, and ended up getting rid of it because it was just, everything was so heavy and it was a royal pain to clean. The substrate is all crushed limestone, and then there's just a couple rocks that are in there. I've got 2 power heads running on either side that are effectively wave makers. I just added those recently. I used to have power heads with under gravel jet set up, but finally got rid of those. And I did a water change just recently. That's why you see this big white thing on the side here. It's just doing a water polishing of sucking out any of the other stuff that's floating around. So this is the tank. The way the filtration is set up is, if you can see at the top there on the right side, I've got, and this is the pipe that's sucking out the water into one of the canisters, and then this is the spray bar for the return. It's the canister pushing water back into the tank. And then I've got a air stone going as well, just to give it a little bit of aeration of the tank. And I have the exact same setup over there on the left side as well. I've got this 2 nice LED lights that are up there too. So let me show you what the filtration system looks like. So again, that's the tank. So let me just back away, and you can see that I'm lucky because I have a sink with a drain over there on the left-hand side. So let me show you how this is set up. Go ahead and open up my cabinets. open all of this stuff up. And so this is what you can see here. This is what the right side is all set up. So got a bunch of supplies and everything all up here. I've got drawers of just cleaning stuff down there, and then I got more drawers for like storage that you see down here. And then this is where all of the filtration happens in the cabinet up underneath. So ignore that manifold that you see up on the right hand side. That is not hooked up to anything. That was something I was going to do, and I'm actually simplifying all this stuff going forward. So those pipes coming in from the right hand side, those are coming from and going to those pipes I just showed you a second ago for the canisters, pulling the water out and putting it back in. So the two thicker pipes that look like they're braided on the right hand side, those are where the water's coming in from the tank. That's these two guys that you see down here that I'm holding, right? And then these two are the returns. So I have two canisters set up. Show some of these cabinets. I have two canisters set up that's doing all the mechanical and biological filtration. They are, double check, Eheim 2217s. It might be a bit overkill, but I'd rather have overkill in the filtration than not. They've served me well since the very life of the tank. So I got the tank back 7-8 years ago. Had a couple problems where I've had like the connector up here has cracked and it's leaked a little bit. Same thing down here. I've had the exact same issue where that's cracked and that's leaked, and I've had to replace different parts of these guys. I'm just tired of them. The way that they're set up is that there's a first section here is like there's a plate that separates it from the very bottom of the water coming in, and then this section here is mechanical filtration by the like silicone, or I'll show you what the things are. There, you can see them up there. So it's like these kind of they're like tall donuts, and they're just made of like ceramic. And then between those, I have a coarse filter, and then the second section here is filled with the bio filter, and that's using like the standard Eheim, and you can see it up there. I'll pull it out in a second. Of the bio balls, and those are in filter bags, or those are in those like filter bag kind of things to make it easier to pull those out and to clean them. And then there's another standoff right here, and then there's two other little filter bags at the very top. One for activated carbon and one for phosphane to help remove phosphate from the tank. And that's set up the exact same way between both these guys. I've also got fresh water plumbed from one of the cold water supply. So I can do the quick disconnect right here on this guy. I can hook it up to, say, one of these of the returns, and then just open up this valve right here. Fresh water flows in the tank. It is chlorinated water, so I treat the chlorinated water once it gets into the tank. As I'm filling it up, the fish don't seem to mind. It's one of the nice things about cichlids. They're pretty hardy. When I want to do a siphon job, I have a dishwasher connector set up here. I have just a standard pipe that's just hooked up right up in here. Shove it into this guy. Do the same disconnect, and then this piece right here hooks up to either the drain when I want to do a water change. So I'll hook it up to this side. So this is the part that's coming down, like the return from the canister. So I use the canister pump, a dirty canister, to pump water out of the tank. Where I use the return to pump fresh water in, and then I just hook this return right here this drain into the dishwasher connect that just dumps water down the drain. I also have a quick connect as well set up on my siphon so that I can siphon all the waste straight to the down the drain. So that's the current setup. Again, just to quickly show, this is the biomaterial that I'm using, and then these are the first stage of like mechanical filtration, and then this is more the bio filtration here. All right. So that is my current setup. That's my current setup. If you want to see what I'm doing, is I'm starting a huge remodeling and reorganization of everything, and the goal is to not only make the tank cleaner, but make maintenance a lot easier. And I also want to reduce the chances for leaks and stuff like that. And the main reason I want to do that is, well, This is on the second floor right above our master bedroom. So a leak would be catastrophic. All right. I'm going to put this video along with many others documenting the process in a playlist, a YouTube playlist. I'm doing this because I have learned so much from other people on YouTube, showing how they've done stuff. And it's time for me to give back and to show you what I'm doing, going through my process and explaining the trials and tribulations of it. So on to the next video. The next video is going to be about what I want to change and what I don't like and what the current plan is.